Hello everyone. Today we will be doing a dictation from Progressive Magazine, March. I will be dictating exercise 20. We will start the dictation in 10 seconds. Five seconds to go. Start. It would be useless on my part to attempt to deal at any length with the many nightmares and imaginary visions of a widespread plan for the extermination of Muslims in the states which the Prime Minister of Pakistan has conjured up in the broadcast made from his sick bed. One might expect hot temper in a state of frenzy, but the state of delirium which the broadcast most certainly exhibits cannot but have filled his listeners and readers with amazement and apprehension. History has been dishonestly and mischievously distorted. Freebooters and looters have been dubbed as liberators and heroes. The wanton and mass tragedies inflicted by the raiders on the innocent, helpless, and peaceful inhabitants of villages in the Happy Valley have been treated as matters of no consequences, and what is virtually an elaborately planned, fully equipped, and professionally directed invasion from a friendly territory has been presented as a rising of the people against the torture and oppression of a ruling race. The grim tragedy which overtook the British members of a religious order at Baramulla, the details of which are too heart-rending to tell, and the murder in cold blood of European families, there are sufficient to reveal the true character of the so-called missionaries of liberation and emancipation. The ceaseless hysteric outbursts of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, together with the known composition of these raiders and their equipment, fully bear out the interest taken by a neighboring state, the leaders of which, more than anyone else, have constantly harped in the past on the independent character of the states after the lapse of paramountcy and the entire freedom of choice in the matter of accession vested in their rulers, as if Kashmir alone was not an adequate target for the venomous shafts of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He has encompassed within his indictment the states of India are states that have acceded to the Indian Union, a state with which again Pakistan has friendly relations. As usual, however, facts have either been ignored or given a twist to suit the picture which the Prime Minister deliberately intended to overdraw. I have no doubt but for the poison of hate and the communal virus which had been injected into the body political by the League. This virus will be suicided for the peace between the two neighboring countries after the protrusion of the United India. Nevertheless, Meos in thousands have returned to these states, and those that wish to go neither persuasion nor arguments would succeed in restraining, for they know the destruction of non-Muslim homes and property which they have done. As regards in other states, I see no reason why the Pakistan Prime Minister should have, unless it were for his own ulterior ends, isolated them from the general flare up which has overtaken the East and West Punjab, and for which not one single community is to blame entirely. If the rulers of these states have not been able to prevent communal disturbances to a degree which would have prevented evacuation of Muslims, they share that discredit with other governments, including the Pakistan government, who so clearly failed to arrest the tide. The Pakistan Prime Minister talks of a widespread plan for the exemption of Muslims. Of course, it did not suit his purpose to mention the brutal and mass murders which have taken place in a state which was quite susceptible to their influence, and which had some time ago acceded to the Pakistan Federation, namely the state of Sindh, where non-Muslims have suffered untold losses in men, women and children and property. But obviously Pakistan holds that what is sauce for the Pakistan goose cannot be sauce for the Indians here, while non-Muslims have been exterminated ruthlessly and without remorse from Pakistan and its neighboring states, producing an inevitable reaction in the Indian Union. The blame must rest with the latter, for the inhabitants of the latter have refused to submit to the fate of their co-religionists in the former. It is this wrong logic on which the whole conception and policy of the government of Pakistan are based, and it is this wrong logic which the Pakistan Prime Minister has left to his appreciative audience and the world to judge. The Pakistan Prime Minister has also made the following statement: when we asked the Indian government to protect the Muslims in these states, we were told that these events were the state's internal affairs and the Indian government could not interfere. Whenever this question was broached between the two governments, the limitations imposed by the constitutional relationship on the interference in the internal administration of a state were mutually recognized. The last time when this was formally placed on record was when representatives of the two governments met in Delhi In fact, in the past, the League leaders have themselves been loud in their protestations of the absolute independence and sovereignty of the states on the lapse of paramountcy both in the internal and external spheres. Stop.